Hey, what's up, visionaries? Hey, I'm out here on a walk, and I like the walk because it allows me to free my mind. One of the things that I want you guys to start paying attention to now, right, is that if you're somebody who's looking to invest in crypto and you're sitting on the fence, like this isn't going to be some sales thing where I talk about act now and then book an appointment or a consultation with me. I really want you to zoom out and look at what's really happening. The fact that you have this opportunity, just look at the performance of Bitcoin to date, right? And when you see that, when you think about how long you've been sitting there ignoring it, and it's because we live in this world, and I want to tell you, this is one of the biggest conspiracies, right? Is allowing people to be cynical and make jokes, right? It empowers them to inaction. What do I mean by that? Is that because you sit there and think that, hey, Mike, I don't understand what that Bitcoins are or whatever it is, right? People don't listen to understand. They mostly want to mock you, right? And then when people mock you, it makes you not want to help them, right? And not that I care about stuff like that. I got a pretty strong backbone. But I really want to talk about the opportunities on how long I've been talking about Bitcoin. And then you didn't even have to YOLO your life savings. If you would have bought $100 a month of Bitcoin from the first video that I ever talked about it, whether you saw me on Facebook or anywhere else, right? And then try to learn to understand, ask questions. When I first started talking about it, everybody was trying to be all cynical and stuff like that. But here's the part that I want people to understand. And this is for anybody who's young, is that I want you to consider how many people miss opportunities trying to be cool, right? And it's like, you're sitting here watching the people who have your money, the banks, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, BlackRock has your retirement, your 401k. Donald Trump just passed a bill saying that he's going to give your K exposure to private equity and even digital assets like crypto. And then you're still either, "Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. What do I do?" Right? And then you don't want to guidance, right? I get it. You may not have time to read books, watch YouTube videos. You got family, you got kids. I got 3 kids. I get it, right? That's the reason why I started doing what I was doing, is that now you don't have the time to sit there and sit on your hands because you're going to be priced out. And a lot of people won't talk about this, but I will, right? I want you to consider all the things you hear about the dollar. And then even if you're someone who doesn't believe it, right? I'll say this too. It's not only that if you don't believe it, what if you're somebody who believes what you've been taught, right? See, I had my success in investing because I'm self-taught. I sought out other people who were doing it. I didn't read it in a book. I didn't have some economics professor who's probably not even financially independent. How can he teach you to be financially independent if he's not? He's just telling you how he believes things work. And then you get a diploma that makes you feel as if you're this person who stands out in the marketplace. But then you're drowning in student loan debt because no one told you how to leverage your education, even though I believe it's predatory, right? But I want you to think about why aren't you listening to the people who aren't me? And if it's some kind of conspiracy that you don't trust these people or you believe they're scams, what does that mean for everything else of yours that they have access to, right? So when are you going to decide to either double down on your conspiracy and go off grid, or you're going to play the game to make the exit, right? And so what does it mean by play the game to make the exit? I believe by 2030, many of you won't, by 2030, many of you won't have the skills to compete in the marketplace. I want you to see how fast AI is progressing, right? And many of you aren't paying attention to that, right? Then there's many of you who never learned how to use Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office, right? And then I want you to consider all the things that people that are being replaced. Like, see, they told you that the job numbers were bad, right? The job numbers were bad. And I always knew that because I was like, I hear more about layoffs than I hear about people getting jobs and jobs being created, right? There's only a select few people who can work for the best performing companies, right? Even the S&P 500 is being propped up by NVIDIA, Meta. And you see what Meta's paying people? Meta's paying people $100 million to build a super intelligence team. Where do you think you fit in that play, right? And then After they build that super intelligence team with the people he spent $100 million on, see what people don't know about business, right? That seems like an egregious investment, right? But then when you look at it from the strong point, the long point, and the thing that it is, right? You can pay those people because you're going to downsize the employees. It's as simple as that. Like, and then at some point, you have to be a person who starts to believe your conspiracies, right? They only value shareholders. They only care about lining the rich pocket. Absolutely correct. It's called the Cantillon effect. The reason why I started making content is because you need to have assets. Younger Michael, my sons, if you watch this video, continuously buy assets that align with the direction that you believe it's going. It's not very complicated. If you believe that everybody likes Roblox, invest in Roblox, especially if you're playing it. If you play Roblox and you see what's going down with it, maybe on the back end, you would know to invest in it. If you see nothing but OnlyFans content or OF content on your timeline, I think you can assume that OnlyFans is generating revenue. See, investing got easy to me once I realized to open my eyes. Warren Buffett taught me that. Is invest in things that you understand and you can see. You can see how Coca-Cola is everywhere. That's why Warren Buffett likes it, right? See, my thing is that I want to be able to help people seize this fourth industrial revolution. We're getting more digital, not less digital. And once you start realizing that, the whole world will open up. So I'm going to wrap this up. I don't want to talk for like 10 minutes. But what I want you guys to start realizing is that crypto is going absolutely nowhere. Bitcoin's at like $117,000 right now. The next wave is that they're going to tokenize assets. Why do I know that? It's because the largest asset manager in the world said that that's where he believes. He also believes that the ETFs are good for fixed income. Now, see, I don't argue with people on the internet because you don't control that vote. You're not an asset manager. Many of you don't even have investments. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Follow the decision makers, not the guy who's read a textbook and believes this is how the economies work, right? Just follow the money. It's not that hard. It's not that crazy. See, when you start realizing that many of you fail to learn, right? Many of you believe that you don't have time to learn, and then the rest of you have such an inflated ego that you already think you know enough. And then nobody can't tell you any objective criticism or think independently of what you believe because you're an egomaniac know-it-all, right? And it's like, you have to realize that's what, back at the beginning of the video when I was talking about the cynicism. That's what I'm talking about, is that people will rather be cynical than right. Because the people who told me I was wrong, they don't come back and say, hey, Mike, you know what? You were right about that. Because I wasn't talking about Bitcoin replacing the dollar. You don't need the dollar because Bitcoin exists. That's the difference. Well, why do they measure it in dollars? Because that's how you measure value. See, if you live long enough and you're gracious enough that someone will take Satoshis, you call me and you offer me something, I'll take Satoshis, right? Now, whatever the value is in dollars, that's what you will have to give me. See, it's a moot point. You're just arguing for the sake of arguing. Value is value. Whether I give you a goat, a jar of milk, Bitcoin, a dollar, a credit card, whatever it is, credit cards isn't even real money. Small personal loans is all credit is. And that's what I want you guys to realize. It's not Justin Bieber. It's not clocking to you. You're trying to be right about the wrong things. Oh, if an EMP strike happens, the Bitcoin will go down. If an EMP strike happens, I guarantee you won't be able to get your money out of the bank or your money out of the bank. See, these are the things that you're not thinking about. That you're thinking about why something won't work instead of participating in it. And you will always be a big loser because of that. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean it that you have an opportunity to win in life and you're going to blow it with trying to be this Poindexter know-it-all or someone who's just so afraid to take risk or try anything new, right? Anything you do in life requires risk. Everything. If you decide to sprint, play basketball in low top ankle, play sports without the proper equipment, you run the risk of getting injured. See, many of you value money so much it'll never grow for you. You got to part ways with it. It's meant to flow. It's energy. You're clutching your pearls on this money stuff, and then you don't realize that you're the same person who's tight with money, and then you want someone to pay you a livable wage. But what if they thought like you? Actually, you know what's even crazier? They do think like you. You don't think things have value because of money. You only pay for most things because you have to. You would prefer not to. Everyone would, right? But I'm talking about your rent, your mortgage, right? You will sit there and complain about rent in your 1-bedroom apartment and not consider finding somebody else in your apartment complex that thinks the same way that you do. And like, hey man, you want to, when this lease ends, can I move in with you? Right? And then you'll think of all the legal ramifications, because it's easier to find problems than it is to create solutions for people. Why? Because misery loves company. Why? Because every single thing in life is easier to complain than fix. And that's where we're at today, guys. So anyhow, if you like this video, want me to make some more, leave a thoughtful comment below. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Michael James. I run Fourth Eye Visions, which is a crypto and blockchain education consulting business. I help individuals build profitable portfolios in cryptocurrency. My proof is that I was someone who started out investing $80 a month 7 years ago, and now I have a multiple 7-figure portfolio. And if you guys would like to do a consultation, get on a call with me. You can click the link in the description below, or you can actually join my private community. And that's all I got to say, guys. All I want to say is buy some crypto. And if you don't know where to begin, subscribe, follow me on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok or wherever those things are at. I just put the videos out there, guys. So anything, you guys have a great day.